The Republican presidential candidates getting down to the issues, but did they get their facts right last night? Here to fact check last night's debate is national political reporter for Real Clear Politics, Rebecca Berg. Good morning, Rebecca. What a debate that was. I want to start asking you about this. It's often repeated on the campaign trail, not just by Ted Cruz, but by other candidates. Let's take a listen, and I want to get your reaction.
The millionaires and billionaires are doing great under Obama, but we have the lowest percentage of Americans working today of any year since 1977. Median wages have stagnated.
All right. So is that true or is that false?
It is true, and you're right that this is something we hear a lot on the campaign trail from Republicans. Democrats tend to push back, but the truth of the matter is a lot of people have exited the workforce, and as a result, indeed, we have about the same percentage of Americans working as we did in the 70s.
Yeah, even the Washington Post agrees with that assessment. It's true. In 2007, the work participation rate was 66%. Now it's 62%. And back in the 1970s, it was in the low 60s. Okay, so true. Let's move on to another one. Rubio and Ted Cruz argue over the terms of Ted Cruz's tax plan. Rubio calling it a value-added tax. Listen.
I'm not going to have something that Ted described in his tax plan. It's called a value-added tax. It is a tax you find in many companies in Europe, where basically businesses now will have to pay a tax both on the money they make, but they also have to pay taxes on the money they pay their employees.
The business flat tax in my proposal is not a VAT.
All right, a VAT can be a bad word in Republican politics. Is that true or is it false? Is it a value-added tax?
It is a value-added tax, actually, and so Marco Rubio is completely in the right here. And you are correct that a value-added tax can be a four-letter word, so to speak, in Republican circles, sort of something you don't want to say on the campaign trail, which is why Ted Cruz is trying to use other terms to explain what this is. But when you get down to the pure economics, and most economists agree, it is a value-added tax.
And would increase corporate income tax rates, something that a lot of conservatives don't like either. Let me ask you one more thing. Rubio calls out Christie on organizations that he has allegedly funded. Christie says that Rubio's claims about Planned Parenthood are untrue. Is that true or false?
Chris Christie wrote a check to Planned Parenthood.
I never wrote a check to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. True or false?
It's actually true that Chris Christie, well, it's actually false that Chris Christie did not donate to Planned Parenthood. We have to go back to 1994 to see a quote from Chris Christie saying that he donated on his own. He says he was misquoted, but the author of that article at the time now works in his office, so we may never know the full truth on that one.
That is right, unless we see the check itself. Rebecca Berg. Rebecca, thank you so much from Washington this morning.